Okay, let's start. Hello, everyone, and welcome to one of our webinars. Most of the time, we focus on topics that are related to fiscalization, but every now and then, we love to give the stage to our partners, especially when they bring a valuable and relevant topics to the table, like today is the situation. Over the next 45 minutes, we'll be discussing a very important question. Why do POS providers need built-in loyalty and marketing solution? Feel free to ask questions or join the conversation via the chat in this streaming at any time. So we'd love to hear your thoughts, of course. My name is Tiana Varga, and I'm a marketing manager in Fiscal Solutions. Today with me our sales manager, Gordana and Mitul Jain, as well as refive. Off, I'd like to hand the stage over to my colleague, Gordana. Welcome. And I believe you have some interesting updates to share.
Yes, absolutely. Hello, Tiana. Nice to see you and welcome everyone. As you said, my name is Gota, sales manager, and I'm here today with you to share some interesting things about fiscal solutions. So let's start with this topic. I'm sure that you already know that we are a software development company, but did you know that we are existing for already 20 years? And through this period, we were focused just on fiscalization in order to make it more simpler and not by just implementing legal requirements into our solution, but also through the different tools that we add that are not required by the law, just to make it more simpler for our clients. And also we provide the knowledge to help you to understand fiscalization and live with fiscalization daily. We understand that in order to help you to understand fiscalization, we need constantly to innovate, and believe me, we are absolutely obsessed about innovation. We were first in the world who developed fiscal middleware, but there is more innovation through these years. For example, Fiscal Portal, it's first its kind in the world. Then our Fiscal GPT, which is actually AI model trained by us, which you can use to understand and learn about fiscalization. Then Fiscal News app, which will always keep you informed about fiscal law changes. And just before 2 days, we actually published our Udemy course, but I will tell you more about all this innovation. And as I tell you, we are absolutely obsessed about this. I will give you more details about all this topic. Before that, I will just want to mention that we actually have two solutions. Both of them are software-based. One is online platform, subscription-based platform, and another one is fiscal middleware, which is actually a piece of software which communicates with tax authority and the POS and or hardware devices if they are existing on the other side. Speaking about our products, we are covering the whole life cycle of fiscalization, from the idea to do something in certain countries all the way everything is already set and the store is running. And we separate all of our products into two groups. First group is related to know-how strategy, and we are focused on providing the knowledge that you need to have before you expand in certain countries. And on our portal, we published complete news and alerts about urgent situations, different type of documentation, official law, legal requirements, technical specification, technical documentation that we create and use to develop our solution. Also, we implement educational material, which are actually webinars, recorded webinars and workshops that we had in the past. And this will be very helpful to you to understand documentation and news which we provide there. Also on our portal, you will get access to our Fiscal GPT, which I actually mentioned earlier. There is actually 27 different AI models, each per country. And last but not least, through this portal, you will get access to all of our consultants, and you will be able to easily ask them about anything that you need to know. So this is first part, know-how strategy. You need first to understand fiscalization before you go in certain country, and the other solution is actually our fiscal cloud. What is really beneficial, there is just one interface for all countries, and with this solution we are able to support all types of fiscalization: hardware-based, software-based, online-based, and combined types. And also we are able to support any retail concepts. In our solution, we also implement educational material to help you to understand it and to educate the people who are working in the store, for example. And also through our solution, you will have access to our fiscal GPT. So speaking about innovation, our Fiscal News app is actually easy way to always be informed about fiscal law changes. If you download this app and subscribe to it, you will get access to complete fiscal news, and even more, you will get alert about urgent and critical situations. We absolutely understand how hard it is to maintain your business in more countries in the same time, and how to even know there's something happening in certain countries. So download this app and subscribe, and we will inform you about everything what is important for your business. It's available right now on Android and iOS as well. And as I mentioned, just before 2 days, we published our first Udemy course, and that is actually the first in the world course on Udemy related to fiscalization. No one ever did it before. And we started actually this session of courses with Spain, as you can see on this picture. And in this course, you can find 35 lessons, more than 2 hours of content packed with real-world tips done by experts, our consultants, who done it in 27 countries. This is very useful and new way through which we try to educate people. So right now, through this course, retailers, POS software vendors, governments, consultants can easily get inside look into how fiscalization is being handled in Spain in this situation. So we make it available for everyone and really practical way to learn about fiscalization in countries that you are interested in. So we, as I said, started with Spain. So check this course, and I'm sure that you will like it. And our community day, this is actually the second one that we are organizing. And this year, this community day will take place on 2nd of October. It's important to mention that this is not sales event. There will be just one sales presentation done by our CEO Darko, and all other presentations are actually educational, presented by our consultants. So it will be really useful for you to come in and to inform about fiscalization topics in various countries. And what is even more important, that is this is good way to connect for us with our clients, but for them also to connect with each other, to exchange ideas and experience, because through these 20 years, we absolutely understand how important it is to make good connection, trust and loyalty with clients. And also we absolutely understand at the same time how difficult it could be. And today with us is Mitul, who will explain on which way we can be more successful in building loyalty and trust with our consultants. So Mitul, could you join us? I'm sorry, just I guess technical problems. Me too. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I was just trying
Yes.
to get my video
Welcome.
off the background.
Okay,
Hello,
welcome. How
everyone.
are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for the great introduction and excited to pick up where you left off and talk a little bit about loyalty.
Yes, I'm really curious about the insights that you will share today. So the stage is yours.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Gordana. Thanks, Tiana, for the intro. And yes, without more time wasted, let me tell you a little bit about myself, about what we're doing, and about the most important question that we're all here to answer today, which is why do POS providers need a built-in loyalty and marketing solutions? So very quickly, my name is Mitul. I'm one of the founders of Refive. We started this company around 6 years ago after my co-founder and I spent more than 10 to 15 years working with retailers, specifically on the topics of customer engagement, loyalty, customer data. And in that process we launched several loyalty programs. We saw what works and what didn't work, and a few things became clear over time that we decided we need to solve in various ways. So with our core product refive, we do that for mid to large enterprises, giving them solutions in the area of digital receipts, customer engagement, and loyalty. And today I'm here to tell you a bit more about a new solution that we've launched. But before I get into that, let's start with the whole topic of loyalty and marketing towards customers. Why is this important, right? Why do retailers really care so much about loyalty programs? Why do they invest so much in it? And why do retailers that are now up and coming need to start doing that? So, one of the most important things to consider with today's world is customers are getting bombarded with marketing campaigns from all directions, whether that's online, whether that's in physical stores, whether that's in the newspaper, TV, etc. And the problem with a lot of these campaigns, especially for retailers, is you kind of are spraying and praying, right? So you don't know who your customers are. You're spending a lot of money on online campaigns, on TV campaigns, etc., to try and bring customers into the store, and then they come in, maybe they purchase, and then they leave, and you don't know who they are. And loyalty programs are one powerful way to solve that, because you're basically giving the customer a reason to come back, building a stronger relationship with them, and it becomes a much more cost effective way to keep those customers coming back than traditional marketing is. um, More than just saving marketing costs and being a more effective marketing channel, today's customers, we're all growing up looking at news feeds on TikTok and LinkedIn and Instagram, and there's a strong sense of what I consume, what I get needs to be personalized to me and my needs. And loyalty programs give you a powerful way as a retailer to actually give customers a personalized experience, because every time a customer is walking in the store, completing a purchase and collecting their points, they're giving you more information about what products they like, what they're interested in, what their needs are, what their tastes are. And that's giving retailers a powerful way to say, now I know this customer and I can give them a personalized value and personalized reason to come back to my store, instead of giving them the same offer that I'm giving everyone else. And obviously, it's not just about saving money. It's not just about giving the customer a great experience. It's also about the fact that there's tons and tons of evidence out there from all these loyalty programs that have been running, that giving customers a reward for loyalty, engaging with them in a personalized way, actually leads to them being more profitable for the business, spending more, having higher basket sizes, and basically helping retail businesses grow. 57% of customers who have a built-in loyalty to a brand will spend more at those retailers. And 90% of all loyalty programs show positive ROI. On average, you're looking at a 5x return almost, right? So for every euro spent, invested into customer loyalty, whether that's giving them points, giving them rewards, even running the program, is bringing back in at least €5 for the retailer. So hopefully by now we're quite convinced that loyalty programs need to exist. But I can imagine that a lot of us are here, just like I was when I started looking more and more at loyalty, thinking, yeah, but it's kind of not working anymore. I have tons of stamp cards in my wallet. I have tons of apps in my phone. And that's true. The traditional approaches, whether that's the old school ones with physical cards, stamp cards, etc., they're not working as well because it's really not possible to personalize those. Everyone is getting the exact same thing. From a customer perspective, I may forget it or lose it. And as a retailer, I'm not really learning anything about the customer. So all I'm doing is I'm saying to them, if you come more often, we'll give you a reward, which is interesting, but not enough to get most customers to feel a really strong sense of loyalty. Now, app-based approaches, obviously being digital, solve some of those problems and try to do it better. But there's obviously a challenge there as well, which is that customers are tired of having multiple apps for different loyalty programs. You're at the till, you're checking out, you don't want to, in that moment, now be forced to download an app. And obviously, from a cost perspective, it's much more cumbersome, right? You're investing in an app that needs to run across multiple platforms. It needs to stay updated. It needs to integrate with your POS, with your CRM system. And it often maybe even requires additional hardware at the point of sale. So getting it right is quite difficult. And so even though a lot of retailers and brands understand the need for loyalty, it's still a challenge for a lot of them to get it right. So let's think about, okay, what is it that does work and what approaches can retailers take to be successful at this? And with that, we come a bit into what the POS has to do with that. So the most important thing is it needs to be very easy and frictionless for the customers. Don't make me dig through my wallet for a stamp card or a plastic card. Don't make me download an app when I'm at the POS without a good network connection in your store. And then don't make me sign up and fill in, a 30-page form asking me about my childhood and my address and everything else just to get a few measly points. Staff also are very important in any of these things becoming successful, right? If it is a program that's designed to be smooth at the POS, not require staff to go through a heavy training, do a lot of work, capture data from the customer and get them signed up, but actually is a seamless, smooth experience for them, they will enjoy recommending it more. And especially in the beginning with a new program like that, it lives and dies from how well your store staff promote it. And lastly, it's a topic that I've said a lot about already so far today, which is about being personalized. So if you think of traditional programs, it was pretty transactional. You come to my business, the more you spend, the more points you get, and one day you can convert those points into some sort of reward, get a free pan, maybe get some discount, etc. But a lot of that is not relevant for customers. So if I'm in your store, I'm using a loyalty card and I'm actually helping you understand what I like, what behavior I'm exhibiting. I'm expecting you in return to give me an experience that's not just transactional, but an experience that's rewarding and personalized. So I want to feel like this brand is valuing my business. They're valuing the fact that I am sharing my information with them. And in return, I'm getting something that feels like it's designed for me, it's tailored for me, and it's actually of value to me. And one thing that isn't obvious in all of this is that for all of these three things to work well, the loyalty program and any marketing activities done around it need to be quite deeply connected, and I would argue even embedded in the POS. And we look at why that's important in a second. So, you might be thinking, okay, I'm a POS provider. Let's say I believe you that loyalty is important, but why should I care about this, right? I mean, I'm looking at fiscalization, which is a big problem I need to deal with. I'm looking at, changing regulations from the accounting side of the business. I'm looking at new payment methods and so on and so forth. And those are very important points. But what we have seen with POS providers that actually do offer an embedded solution, because it is more effective for their retail customers as well, is that they're seeing much less retailer churn. It's a lower cost solution for their customers as well, so they're more likely to choose that. And it gives them a new tool to actually attract more merchants. So what we've seen is customers often churning from POS solutions, and this is especially true when you think of small and medium retailers. Churning from a POS solution that's just doing what a traditional POS has done, which is inventory, transactions, fiscalization, and so on and so forth, which in itself is a lot, and moving to solutions that give them more out of one box. And the reason for this is pretty straightforward. If I'm a small, medium business and I have a team of 5 people, 6 people who are sort of running the marketing side for me, running the operational side, and then I have my store staff, I don't have the time or capacity, and often not the budget, to buy 3 different pieces of software and then integrate it all together and make something that works for me. Ideally, I want to go somewhere where I get a complete solution that works perfectly out of the box. I don't have to waste time integrating. I don't have to waste time training my staff to use multiple platforms. I can get them up and running pretty much immediately. Now, obviously, that brings the question, right? As I said a few times already, as a POS provider, you're focusing on a lot of other topics and challenges that are very important ones from a retailer's perspective to solve. So then it becomes the question of, does it make sense as a POS provider to build out a loyalty program, to build out marketing capabilities in-house? Uh, Especially if you're focusing on small to mid-sized merchants, we believe that it doesn't make sense to do that. There's a lot of operational challenges that the retailers face that are constantly evolving. There are evolving accounting needs, fiscalization needs, evolving behaviors of customer, new payment methods coming up, and they are requiring their POS to think about those problems, think a few steps ahead, and solve them in order to stay loyal to their POS. Now, often as POS providers, there isn't an in-house expertise around topics like customer loyalty, customer engagement, CRM, and so on and so forth. And it's also a space that keeps evolving. So then it often comes down to the question of, I'm running a POS company, I have my 50 employees, we're doing a great job, we're building a beautiful POS that's cloud-based, it's doing all of these things well. Do I now build out a new capability of building out marketing and loyalty capabilities and doing that well? Or do I look at focusing on my core strengths and find a way to offer those solutions in addition to what I do? Now, we'll often see POS providers who'll say, let's try and do everything. And there's this old statement that if you're good at everything, you're not great at anything, right? And that's often what ends up happening in these solutions, where the POS provider will add a basic loyalty feature, they'll add a basic digital receipt, they'll add a basic capability to do some marketing and so on and so forth, maybe a small customer database. But as soon as merchants start using it, they realize that that's a very simple basic version compared to what they're ideally hoping to achieve. So as we thought about this challenge, as we worked with our POS partners, we realized that there's a need to give them a solution that allows them to provide their retail customers with marketing and loyalty abilities that are state of the art. So giving them the tools that the big giant retailers are using in their loyalty programs, but doing it in a way that doesn't take away from internal resources, that doesn't require several months or even years of development, and can basically be run in a plug and play way. But at the same time, instead of being a separate product and a separate integration, as a white label product within one's own ecosystem. So what we basically offer with Avian, which we've launched now, we're live with a handful of POS providers for the last 6 months, is a powerful white label loyalty and marketing automation solution. What that means is you integrate our API once, we customize our back end to look and feel like your own, and then we connect the systems together. From your customer's perspective, you're basically saying that you now have your own rewards program, loyalty program, you can call it what you want, that is now live. We help you as a POS provider not just to have this system live, but also market it to your retail customers. So we provide materials, we provide videos on how they can use it, all of which, again, from their perspective, is in your look and feel. It's a completely white label experience. And from your retailer's perspective, you've just given them this incredible new capability out of the box that's not just there and ready to use, but because it's a plug and play solution that we continue to invest in, develop, and improve, it's constantly improving. So it's not that, okay, we solve how loyalty works today in 2025, but we're constantly developing new features and capabilities. And you as a POS provider are always set up to give your retailers the best possible solution when it comes to loyalty and marketing automation. So that's a bit the paradigm that we're working with. Now, obviously, there's the question of what's inside the box, what is this solution, what capabilities are we giving the retailers. But before I jump into that, I'll just pause for a second, see if there's any questions in the chat or from anyone in the audience, and if not, I can continue from there. I see a very focused audience and a quiet chat, so I'll move on. Now, to the question of what's in the box, right? What does Avian contain? Obviously, it has an API that you integrate to your POS to unlock all those capabilities and the backend. But in terms of features and use cases, we're looking at a powerful points and rewards-based loyalty program. So your retailers can now offer their customers points for every transaction and give them the ability to convert those points into rewards in a very easy to set up reward shop. We have the capability of giving them a payment wallet. So this is a bit like the Starbucks rewards wallet, where as a customer, you can say, okay, I want to load 10 euros, 20 euros, 100 euros in this wallet and get a slight benefit for it and use that to pay whenever I'm at the retailer. There's the ability to give the customer gift vouchers and coupons that work omni-channel. So obviously, because this is embedded in your POS will understand those vouchers and coupons and can use them. But also because the solution is API based and headless, this integrates kind of out of the box with a lot of the leading e-com solutions. So, many retailers have this problem. You'll have gift vouchers and coupons that you can use in the store, but then they don't work online, and vice versa. With Avian, that problem is solved natively. And lastly, you're not just using this to reward customers, capture data from them, and understand their behavior, but we're also giving retailers the tools to do marketing towards these customers through the powerful marketing channels that exist nowadays. So you're sending email campaigns, WhatsApp messages, SMSs, all out of the same platform to your customers as a retailer. All of this obviously depends on us being able to pull all of that data together. So in the back of it is a powerful customer data platform, which basically is using AI to help your retailers understand who are my good customers, what should I offer them, how do I personalize the experience, and then use that insight to improve the program, to run those marketing campaigns, and so on and so forth. When I talk about powerful campaigns, now obviously, if we think about the customers, we're talking about small, medium businesses, for example, they don't have huge CRM teams, huge marketing teams. So the balance we have to find in the solution is that it's as easy as creating an Instagram post, but at the same time, as powerful as any other big CRM out there. And again, here we use a lot of AI to help merchants create the campaigns with a few clicks, including the visuals, including the text, and then shoot it out to the right customers through the right channel. Now, one thing that's very important in all of this is the whole experience is not just designed to be great for the merchants, but it's also meant to be completely seamless for the customers. As a customer, I don't want to have to download another app, as I mentioned earlier. I don't want to carry a physical card. I don't want to have to register and make a lot of effort. So this entire experience from a customer's perspective is browser-based. As a customer, I'm interacting at the POS, either with a barcode that's in my wallet, or a barcode I received by email or WhatsApp. And in identifying myself, if I want to sign up the first time, I only need to provide a phone number or an email directly at the POS. And the rest of the experience is all completely browser-based. I don't need to remember an app. I don't need to remember that I ever signed up even. I just go back in, I use my same email or phone number, and automatically my wallet will get activated on those transactions. I can use my points for the purchase. I can collect points for the purchase, and so on and so forth. So completely seamless experience. And all I need as a customer is one way to identify myself. Now, obviously, we spoke a lot of theoretic stuff. I explained at a high level how the solution works and looks. But, I strongly believe that the proof of this kind of a solution is in actual results. So let me share a quick case study from one of our partners' own customers. Now, this is a bit away from retail. It's a partner POS that offers a solution for restaurants, delicatessen businesses, so sort of at the intersection of food and retail, of restaurants and retail. One of their customers is a franchise business that has more than 30 stores across Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. And they were basically struggling with their existing solution, which required customers to have a physical card. They were then using coupons that were being issued online. It couldn't be used in the POS correctly. There was no integration for that with their online delivery and so on and so forth. And this POS provider started working with us, offering our loyalty solution in a white label format as their own. And this was one of the first customers that started with it. And the results have been phenomenal. So they're seeing more than 30% of their customers actually signing up and using this actively. In surveys they've done, they're getting a very high positive feedback from the customers on how this is performing. They've increased the amount of customers they can target via marketing campaigns by 12x. And from a revenue and profitability perspective, this has had a significant lift for them, right? So at the end of the day, of course, it sounds great to have this as a solution in your POS. But what's even more great is that you can have a success story to take to your customers and say, dear customers, we now offer this capability built in, ready to go in our POS. And here's why you need to do it. And we help you do that as POS providers to become successful with that product. So that's my quick overview of why we believe that loyalty needs to be embedded into the POS, how we go about solving that, and why loyalty at all matters in 2025. Of course, there might be more questions to this. So I come to the end of my presentation here. Thank you for listening. And I'd love to hear any questions from the audience about how they can solve this problem for themselves.
Thank you, Mitul, for bringing this interesting and important topic to the table. As you said, the chat is quite quiet, but I encourage you guys, if you want to ask something, Mitul, just write questions in the chat. Meanwhile, Mitul, I have some questions for you. If you're ready, I want to ask you something about your program.
Please do.
Thank you. How long will it take to deploy the loyalty program?
Yeah, so the nice thing is this is really designed to be very lean and quick. We've worked a lot with POS providers already in the refive context with our digital receipt solution. And so we understand that, development cycles are constrained. There's a lot of topics always on the roadmaps. So we've built this from the bottom up to be really, really easy to integrate and set up. It's just one RESTful API that needs to be integrated at the POS. And we spend around 1 or 2 weeks to then configure the portal, which the customers, the retailers will use in order to operate the program and make the whole thing look and feel like it is a POS provider's native product, right? So in total, to get everything live, we're looking at 1 to 2 weeks for integration, 1 to 2 weeks for customization and setup, and we provide a lot of support in that process to actually launch it and go live to our POS partners.
Great, but how much effort the POS provider needs to put in for this loyalty program into the system?
Got it. So after the initial one-time integration effort, which is typically you can get it done fairly quickly with putting 2 to 3 FTE on it for 1 to 2 weeks. After that, on an ongoing basis, from a technical perspective, there's really not that much effort required because the solutions are integrated, they're working together. And then, from a technical perspective, there's only limited moments, typically once or twice a year, where we say we need to make a change that requires an additional step within the POS or something like that. After that, the effort is really more on the sales and marketing side. Now, the nice thing is most POS providers have an existing pool of customers, and it's quite easy to activate them. Let them know within the portal that the POS provides them that now this feature is available. Send email campaigns, do some social media activities. And for all of this, we'll provide templates and materials that the POS providers can use to get them started. But what we've also seen with some of our POS partners is that they also see a growth in new customer acquisition once they announce and launch these capabilities, because customers who are looking for a complete solution start coming to them, right? So then the effort you have is really on the sales and marketing side, and of course, supporting and enabling these new customers. But also there we provide a lot of support in that process, right? How do you guide customers through the product? How do you inform them about how to use it, and so on and so forth. And then the whole sort of commercial aspect with the billing, all of that kind of happens in an automated way as a part of the integration. So as a POS provider, I'm really just saying I add a new feature, I add the billing for the new feature, and then I need to just push it to my customers.
Okay, great. That sounds really fast and really easy to integrate. But how can merchants segment customers and personalize messages? What about that?
Yes, absolutely. So, if I'm a merchant now, I have this loyalty program running for some time, and I want to say, okay, now let me understand my customers better, because I want to make decisions about maybe opening a new store, adding some new products, adding new categories, and so on and so forth. And this is where the customer data platform aspect of it comes in handy, because every customer that's interacting with the program, with the digital receipts, etc., is getting captured in here. We're understanding their behavior based on their baskets, based on the feedback they provide, based on any interactions they have with the program. And we're giving insights from that to the merchant and saying, these are your best customers. These are the ones that haven't come back in 3 months. You need to send them a reactivation campaign. Here you have a lot of potential, because these are customers that kind of look like your top customers, but maybe they need an incentive to do more. So there's a lot of granular abilities that retailers would now have in order to slice and dice their customer base and understand them and decide what to do. But at the same time, if you look at traditional customer data platforms, you kind of almost need a PhD to use that system well, right? You need to understand a lot about what are these different metrics, thousands of filters and parameters, and so on and so forth. So again, based on our motto of it needs to be as easy as Instagram, we've really simplified that down. We use a lot of AI to really just give those recommendations directly to the merchant. So they don't have to first spend time analyzing that data and deciding what they need to do. Instead, they get a suggestion. For example, dear customer, dear retailer, you have a segment of 50 customers who are high spenders and have not come back in 2 weeks, but you have their contact details. Here is a ready to go campaign. With one click, you can now send it to those customers and bring them back into the store. And this is the impact it could have on your business.
Great. When we talk about customer data, what kind of customer data merchants collect through the loyalty program?
So it's as little or as much as the merchant wants. It's quite customizable, and we typically recommend to ask for less initially and then earn the right for more data as you grow. What that simply means is, as I was saying earlier, right? I don't want to stand at the POS the first time I'm signing up and have to tell you my name, my date of birth, my dog's pet name, where my grandmother went to school, and so on and so forth, in order to start earning points. I want it to be quick. I want it to be easy. And so in the first step, we're typically just capturing an identifier. This could be an email address or a phone number, something that uniquely identifies the customer. And then as you go through the journey and you understand more about the customers, because with every transaction, that purchase data is getting tied to their profile, you as a retailer can decide, okay, do I need to know their name? Do I need to know their date of birth? Not so important for my business, right? But some other retailers might say, no, the date of birth is very important, because we're in fashion and we want to tell them, look, it's your birthday, come in and buy something nice for you to wear, and so on and so forth. So depending on the business, different pieces of information are important for you. And you can set up the program in a way that makes sense for your business and earn that data from the customer at the right time, right? So maybe you say, okay, at the second purchase is a good moment to say, thanks for coming back. Here's an additional €5 discount if you share your birth date with us, right? And so you progressively learn your customers better. And there's no limit to how much data you can ask for. But like I said, in the end, it's always about finding a balance between being too data greedy and being data relevant from a customer's perspective.
Okay, Mitul, just one more question. Probably someone is asking themselves about privacy of this program. Is this program GDPR compliant and secure? What about that?
Absolutely. So we're a German company. Everything is hosted within the EU on a highly secure cloud in Frankfurt. It's ISO compliant, and all the data we process is processed under a data processing agreement. which basically means that at the end of the day, it's not even the POS provider, but the retailer who owns the data. It's completely secure, and they can decide how long it's retained for. They decide the deletion policy, and they basically decide, as I said earlier, how much data is captured, right? So it's their responsibility to say, if there's information we don't need for our business, we should not ask for this data. And that's also, one of the pillars of GDPR is data sufficiency. I only ask for as much data as is relevant for the problem or the need I'm trying to solve.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for this presentation and for answering my questions. Chat is still quiet, but you'll connect later. Probably they'll write to you privately and ask questions and show interest on this application. Thank you very much again. If you want to say something for the end.
No, that's all from my side. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share this. As I said, I believe the future is where POS providers become a more and more powerful solution, where retailers go to their POS provider not just to execute transactions, but to really run their business. And we're really excited to support retailers with the customer and marketing side of that problem, POS providers and retailers with that problem. And my email is open. My contact data will be on the screen in a second. So if anyone in the audience would like to reach out, learn more about the solution, and explore possibilities, we're very excited to talk to you. Thanks again, and have a lovely afternoon.
Thank you as well. Bye. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for joining us.